Every soul that chooses awakening must walk the initiate's path. Yes, through shadow, through remembrance, and through the fire. And this is not as punishment, but it's the preparation for power. So today we're going to talk about initiation, and not the kind that happens through ceremony or a course, but the kind life kind of just boom brings up when your soul speaks and says, it's time. The initiate path is not always glamorous. It's not usually something that you go through quickly. Nothing about it is designed to be easy. We understand that most sacred things are not. They're not easy. They're not quick. And they're not glamorous. That's the difference between those that do the real work and those that put on a performance. Because this work is sacred. This transformation is sacred. It's a journey that every powerful healer, every leader, and every woman must walk. Welcome back to season 4 of the You Are Immeasurable podcast. I'm your host, Tonesha Hyde, holistic business manager and alchemist, dragonfire energy healer, and revealer of the ancient truths. This space is where shadow work meets the dark feminine, where goddess power awakens in your bones, and where divine alignment becomes not just a way of life, but also how we do business. Together, we'll reclaim our fire, embody our sovereignty, and rise into the immeasurable truth of who we really are. So every Wednesday, a new episode will drop, and there will be bonus sparks of inspiration and special series throughout the season. So go ahead and grab your tea, your coffee, or your glass of wine, and let's journey together, because your power was never meant to be measured. It was meant to be remembered. So just for clarity, I want to say that being an initiate means that you've answered the call. And the answer can come consciously or unconsciously. It often means that you're no longer satisfied with the surface level healing or the shallow truths. You're willing to dive in, dig deep, and go through the descent to meet yourself, your shadows, your lineage, in order to dig up and uncover the gold that is within you. Initiation is the soul's way of saying you're ready. You're ready to embody who you really are, who you've always been. It is not about becoming something or someone new. It's about remembering the sacred outline or blueprint that has always been there within you. Now, we already said that initiation isn't quick, and usually it has 3 stages. The stages are the descent, the transformation, and the embodiment. And you might ask, how do these differ and what does that mean? So your descent is always going to be a season of what I call stripping. And that's usually when you go through those times where everything that you know, everything familiar, everything comfortable begins to fall away. The transformation stage, this is where you begin to embrace and your shadow becomes your teacher. Your embodiment stage is your come up. That's when you rise. That's when you've done the work. You've done the crying. You've done the painful parts. You've accepted something. And that's when you can stand, right? You can stand in your truth at that point. Once you've reached the embodiment stage, you're done with asking permission because you no longer seek outside validation. And you've owned your shit and you're able to begin radiating from the wisdom that you've obtained, the knowledge that you've allowed to come forth. And with that, you realize that every breakdown, every heartbreak, every lonely night or dark night of the soul had nothing to do with punishing you or hurting you or being the recompense of something that you may have done wrong. All of these things were doorways. And you realize that I've been walking in and out of these doors my whole life. In the digging deep, we realize that our ancestors, they knew the power of initiation. And that's why they had the rites of passage that were always honored from generation to generation. They honored the stages of birth, womanhood, motherhood, even death and rebirth. But once we stopped heeding the words and digesting the wisdom of our ancestors, we allowed these things that were about sustaining us and enriching us to be stripped away. And that's why the stripping away of our rituals, our languages, our ceremonies have been such a powerful rinse and repeat methodology of supremacy because it has kept us susceptible and disconnected from our true selves, from the knowledge and wisdom of our ancestors and the power that lives within us. And even though we might have forgotten about it, we may not have listened. The spirit of initiation still has always been there. It's never died. It still calls us, whether we listen or not. It's calling to you through your intuition, through your dreams, and even through your challenges. And as we begin to tap in, we realize that when we reclaim what was stolen, be it our voice, our magic, even our pleasure, that puts us back on the path. And so tapping into this and opening ourselves to full awareness of this path, we begin to see all the wonders that are awaiting us and all the knowledge, the wisdom, and the power that is available to us. We open up to the fact that dragons are the ancient guardians of all initiates. The dragons always guard and protect, not in a way that blocks us, but in a way to ensure that we are ready. We can tap into and invite in the dragon energy to burn away those illusions, the fear, and the ego so that we can get to the truth, so that we can live in the truth. And when you reach your dragon on the path, you realize that, wow, there wasn't a reason for me to run from this fire. When you get to that point, that is when you know. That's when you know that none of this was about escaping my shadow or my shadows. It was about remembering that the light that I needed to see was always within me. So there was no need to be afraid, no need to fear. And so with that in mind, I want you to ask yourself, what fires have I been walking through? And where am I still experiencing some resistance? Where am I still not accepting of something about myself? And how is this preventing me from becoming all that I'm supposed to be? And I would absolutely love if you could allow yourself to embrace and take on the perspective of realizing or thinking about all of the things that you've ever thought came against you to break you, actually being the things that were crowning you. Because the power of the initiate path comes when you realize that the descent was never meant to hurt, harm, or destroy you, but it was there. Its purpose was to prepare you to rise above where you've always hovered and to become that remembers. And all of this is extremely important during this season as we move into Samhain, because our ancestors are moving and watching very closely right now because the veil is getting thinner and thinner, and they're with us. They're reaching out to us to let us know to not discredit ourselves or discount ourselves as beginners. They don't want us to think of ourselves as being lost. They're trying to help us to realize that we are the initiates and that this path, this season, our initiation is very sacred. So I ask you to sit with this. Really, really sit with it. Breathe it in. This is how you develop the skills that will make sure that your fire always burns steady, that your faith will continually be fierce, and that your soul will guide you from a place of remembrance. Until next time, my loves, cheers to your transformation. Thank you for tuning in for another episode of You Are Immeasurable. I hope something in today's conversation sparked a remembering, a shift, or even just a softening in your spirit. If you loved this episode, do me a favor. Please share it with someone who needs it, and make sure you're following the show so that you never miss a new activation. You can connect with me over on Instagram or Facebook at Agitator Hyde. That's my handle on all platforms. DMs are always open if you want to go deeper. If you have questions or you just want to share how the episode landed for you, or you can also comment on whichever platform you are listening to this episode on. Always remember, your power, your path, and your purpose are already within you. You are absolutely not broken. You are blossoming. You are becoming. And remember, you are immeasurable. So until next time, be well, be bold, and stay true to the divine within you.